Welcome to MotoHead's look forward to the weekend's opening Revo British Championship round at the brand new Oakhanger track in Hampshire. Well, that's the current plan, but with the dodgy weather we've been having of late, fingers crossed it will be there and will be on. Actually, the organisers RHL have already put out a social media video saying it's on, so it looks like we're all good to go. It's a brand new circuit, carved skillfully by world famous track builders to the stars, Alfie Smith and Justin Barclay. It's on army land that has been used many times over the years for testing by lots of the teams and also racing, but things like the Natterjack Enduro. It's a deep sand track through the trees, like a Dutch track such as something like Leerop. However, it was due to host the first round of the MX Nationals last week until snow stopped play, well, snow and rain. But as is so often the case nowadays, the track would have been rideable, but there's no way the big trucks and all the spectators could have got into the paddock, well, into it and then out of it again. They would have dragged the mud all over the road and it's just not worth risking it with the locals. So the MX National was moved to March the 26th, a week after the Revo series, which of course is this weekend. So instead of it being a dry run for the top boys last weekend, everyone comes to the track fresh and with no prior circuit knowledge. The RHL crew have even kept the exact location secret to avoid riders turning up for a quick preview. But now the location is out and it's near Borden, with the three little words you need for the location are kicks, clashes, titles, which is actually pretty apt. The track itself doesn't need lots of man-made obstacles, as the sand will just dig out and will be a really tough testing circuit for everyone. But straight from the Arenacross series, the track builders just couldn't help themselves, putting a few jumps in, of course. Speaking of Arenacross, usually this time of year there's lots of excitement as we're all gagging to see the top riders in Britain racing for the first time together since the end of the 22 season. But the really successful Arenacross series means a lot of them have already had lots of gate drops under their belts and are sharp and ready for racing. So Tommy Searle, Conrad Mewse, Josh Gilbert, Sean Simpson, Martin Barr, Elliott Banks Brown, if he's riding the British that is, Jason Meara, Luke Burton, Jake Preston, Jaden Ashwell and Mel Pocock have all had lots of race time under their belts already, albeit indoors. And as well as that, Dylan Walsh has been in the USA doing Supercross of course, and a whole single lap at the Hawkstone International. Add to that riders such as Harry Koulas, Ashton Dickinson, Liam Knight, Tom Grimshaw, Dan Thornhill, Tristan Purden, Jamie Wainwright, Sam Nunn, Callum Mitchell, Lewis Kessel, Taylor Hamill. These were the guys who actually went out and joined the international riders at Hawkstone. Now the obvious front runners that have been doing their own thing away from the rest include the gas man John Adamson and his new teammate Ivo Monticelli. Now we know both of these are very fast and very experienced. Now Adamson has raced in the Scottish series, so he's race ready. And also Bobby Pruce is with the ASTA team this year on a 250 gas, so that's another rider who won't surprise anyone if he does pretty darn well. We've also yet to see in race action Jay Haig, Carl Husband, Brad Todd, Jake Millward, Charlie Putnam, Jorgen Talviku, Miro Shivanen, Stephen Clark and Stu Edmonds. Well, we've not seen it in the UK this year against national or international competition. Now, two of these, Brad Todd and Stu Edmondson, have gone from Austrian brand bikes to privateer Hondas. So it's been big changes for them there, going from the steel to the aluminium frame. And 250 Honda rider Jay Haig has swapped to the big KX 450 as he moved up to MX1 with the Kawasaki team. He's been an MX2 race winner and regular podium finisher in the past, and has had some rides on the Crendon Honda 450 last year too. So let's take a closer look at the main men we feel will be in genuine contention to win or take regular podiums in the Revo British Championship this season and what they've been up to so far. You can't ignore that Tommy Searle is the British MX1 champ, a title he first won in 2016, then again in 2019 on a Kawasaki, and he's not lost since after he swapped to Daythorpe's Honda team. Now that did include a year off for COVID when there was no Revo Championship, but now Searle is 33 years old, turning 34 in June, and he's already said 2023 may be his last season doing a full motocross championship. But the Arenacross series has seen Searle revitalised and he's now gagging to go racing.
I think I've got more aggression now than I've had in probably 3 years from this championship. The last few years I've sort of Yeah, last round. When Conrad took me out, that's fired me right up. We're friends again now. I think that's enough. We'll see how it goes. I probably still owe him a little one because he didn't go down. But for now, let's. It's nicer to be friends at my age on the track. I don't want to be worrying about someone taking me out, and I'm just enjoying it. But back to the question, yeah, it's helping a lot with the gate drops. I just feel good at the minute. I feel good with my team. Mark's come back from America to watch this one, so it's nice to win for Mark. And I just feel at home back on the Kawasaki.
He was superb in the Arenacross, doing exactly what he needed to do to clinch the title from fellow British champion Conrad Mewse. Now, of course, Conrad Mewse is the man who replaced him at Crendon Honda. Searle is fast, naturally talented, and knows just what he needs to do to win championships. That's something he did at the very last round from under the nose of Yamaha's Harry Koulas in the Revo series in 21 and 22. Now Tommy's now back on a Kawasaki, this time with the Revo squad, and is enjoying the experience as well as forging his career as a YouTuber. Now there's nothing that creates more compelling content than winning races, so that's a definite motivation for the ex-GP star nowadays, and he admits it. In the past 2 years, he's beat Koulas at the last hurdle to take the British crown. Now Koulas' style has been to start the season well, then quickly come onto really good form mid-season. But both times he's fallen at the last hurdle. This year he's armed with a brand new Yamaha YZ450F, and the consensus is that that's a better bike than the 22 model, which was already really good. Now the big news in the MX1 class is that Conrad Mewse has moved up from the MX2 bikes and is now on the CRF 450 Honda alongside his new teammate Josh Gilbert. The pair also contested the Arenacross series and were the only other riders than Searle to win a main event. So you know both of them are fast and ready. Mewse is the MX2 champion, but the Honda is his first ever Japanese bike. It has the aluminium frame and it's the first beam frame bike he's ever had to ride. Despite being just 23, Mewse is not the sort of rider to go all out and risk everything with wild riding. He's calculated, has a natural talent that most riders would die for, and he already loves the Honda, so he says. Now it's a stunning fact that Mewse has done GPs since he was a teenager on a range of factory-backed teams, yet he's never won a GP overall, a GP moto, or even been on the podium, despite running at the front so many times. He's fit, fast, talented, a serious competitor, but has always struggled with inconsistency in his World Championship campaign. Now he's with Triple World 500 champ Dave Thorpe looking after him, so it'll be interesting to see how he performs under pressure. Although, to be honest, he's never struggled to pull it together in Britain, which is why he's won 3 MX2 championships.
The class is pretty stacked this year. There's some good guys doing it. Quite a lot of title contenders actually. There's probably 4 or 5 title contenders, so it's it's going to be pretty exciting. It's going to make some good racing. But yeah, I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling comfortable. And ready to go for the title in my rookie year.
Now his teammate is Josh Gilbert, a rider rejoining the Thorpe Honda team after a few seasons on Husky, chasing glory in the GPs and AMA championships. He's just turned 25 and is a proven winner in the British series. In the past he was known as a hardpack specialist, but Gilbert's now a great all-rounder. He's won in the Sand of Fat Cats as well as the hardpack of Foxhill. He can do it all and still hasn't hit his peak yet. Another rider who can also win is former British champ Sean Simpson, still on KTM but now riding as a rider manager for the Gabriel team. He's now just contesting the Revo series and the Scottish Championship, not the MX Nationals. That means the clear focus is on the Revo, and on his day he has proven he's still the fastest man on the track, like at Blacksall last year when he was simply stunningly quick. Simpson also did the Arenacross series and loved it, despite a nasty crash. He was lucky to escape serious injury from that one, and he also had a biggie at the Scottish Championships, but should be fit for Sunday. And we all know how fast he is in the sand. He's beat the best riders in the world in the soft stuff and wants to win again. Now we've already mentioned John Adamson and Ivo Monticelli, who will definitely be pushing for podiums and wins this year, but there may be surprises from a couple of MX2 riders who are moving up to MX1. Jamie Carpenter and Tom Grimshaw clashed lots last season in the battle for the MX Nationals Championship and also had wins and podiums in the Revo series. This year, Carpenter is a teammate to Coolas on the Yamaha and Grimshaw is again with Chambers, this time on an FC450. Now in the MX2 class it certainly looks more open than in recent times, as Mewse, Haig, Grimshaw and Carpenter have all gone up to MX1 and the Hitachi KTM team has sadly folded. This is where we've seen riders like Isaac Gifting and Kay Carsmakers battling for the wins. Sadly, the squad won't be on the starting line for 2023. Now the obvious star of the class is former British champ Dylan Walsh. He's been doing great things in the AMA series. His only outing in the UK so far ended up with a bike fault on the first lap at Hawkstone. But Walsh is such a super quick and aggressive rider, he seems to push the KX250 right to the edge, and sadly sometimes past it. It's a return to British racing for ex-GP rider Taylor Hamill, now on the Gabriel 250 KTM after a year out through injury. He'll face Sam Nunn on the Yamaha, Jorgen Talviku on the SC Sporthomes Husky, Jamie Wainwright now on a Redline KTM, and Jake Millward, who's coming back down to MX2 following a tough 2022 plagued with injuries. Now with young riders like Charlie Heyman, who was totally dominant in the youth ranks and leading last year's MX2 finale in his first ride as an adult, also coming up, it looks like being difficult to predict who will be out for the wins. So be there yourself to witness it all going down firsthand, as there's nothing quite like it. Or watch it on the live stream, or of course in MotoHead magazine, app, website, YouTube and social media channels. It's time to go racing.